Libra, my beautiful soul of balance and light, what if I told you that your father moved the sky just to get this message to you? Yes, you heard me right. This is not just a video. It's not random. It's a divine alignment. And if you're hearing my voice right now, it's because the universe responded to something deep inside of you. Maybe a whisper, maybe a prayer, or maybe just a silent ache you've been carrying for far too long. Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot, a sacred space where astrology meets healing, where soul meets spirit, and where timing is never a coincidence. This is a deep horoscope message made just for you, Libra. Today, we're not just exploring stars and transits. We're opening a sacred channel between you and the father figure, earthly or divine, who is still watching over you. Because right now, something extraordinary is unfolding behind the veil, and this message is the key. You might think you stumbled upon this video. But let me assure you, the stars don't stumble. They align. You, Libra, are the sacred keeper of harmony, the one who walks between logic and feeling, beauty and truth, silence and revelation. And perhaps lately, you felt unbalanced, unseen, or quietly searching for a voice that understands what you've been going through. What if the silence you've been feeling wasn't abandonment, but preparation? What if your father never left, but simply stepped aside to guide you from another dimension, more powerful, more present, more patient? Because the truth is, Libra, he's breaking the silence for you. Whether your father has passed on, or he exists in a spiritual form you've never quite named, his energy is reaching through the veil right now. Through symbols. Through dreams. Through a divine stirring that brought you right here. And what's coming next? It's not generic. It's not vague. It's personal. We'll dive into the astrology shaping this moment, the spiritual forces working in your favor, and the miraculous signs you've been missing until now. But before we go deeper, I want to say this from my heart: thank you. Truly. Thank you for your presence here. Every like, every comment, every share, it's not just a metric. It's a sacred offering. It brings you deeper into this soul family we're building here at Zodiac Whisper Tarot. And your support is what allows this light to keep reaching those who need it most, like you, right now. So Libra, if something I've said already resonates with the ache or curiosity in your spirit, if you've ever felt like someone out there is still watching over you, I want you to do something sacred with me. Leave a comment below and write, "I received this message." Or simply, "I feel him." Because sometimes, when you name what you feel, you allow heaven to respond. You confirm to the universe that yes, you're ready to reconnect with a love that never left. And trust me, you'll want to stay with me through the end of this reading. Because what the universe is about to reveal isn't just beautiful, it's breathtaking. A divine moment is already in motion. And Libra, your soul is finally ready to walk through it. So take a breath. And let's begin. In moments like this, when something within you quietly leans forward to listen, it's not just curiosity, it's resonance. You've already sensed that this message is not surface level, it's soul deep. And as we move into this sacred portion of the journey, I want you to remember one thing: being Libra is not about being perfect, balanced, or endlessly peaceful. It's about learning how to hold contradiction with grace. You were born under the symbol of the scales not because life would always be even, but because you were chosen to walk the fine line between opposites and still return to center. You may feel scattered lately. The push and pull between reason and emotion, between giving and preserving, between staying and moving on, these inner negotiations are not signs of weakness, but signs of awakening. And what you're experiencing right now, even if it feels like confusion, is actually clarity in the making. Because when a Libra begins to feel fragmented, it often means that life is revealing new dimensions of who they are. Each thread that pulls in a different direction is not tearing you apart, it's helping you weave a more expansive version of yourself. Astrologically, this phase is aligned with a trine involving Saturn and Neptune, two planetary forces that rarely meet in such a subtle, supportive way. Saturn, the planet of structure, maturity, and lessons, is whispering to you to root your energy, to anchor into what truly matters. Meanwhile, Neptune is calling from the realm of dreams, inviting you to dissolve old illusions and trust the wisdom that comes not from logic, but from quiet knowing. Together, they're creating a sacred space for internal renewal. Not a breakdown, but a breakthrough. Not chaos, but realignment. And if you've been seeing the number 7 show up repeatedly on receipts, clocks, pages, or in dreams, pay attention. In numerology, 7 is the number of divine insight and inner solitude. It arrives when you are being invited to look inward, to trust your intuition over external noise, and to remember that wisdom doesn't always roar. Sometimes it arrives as a whisper. You may be questioning everything: your path, your purpose, your people. And that's exactly what you should be doing. Growth begins where certainty ends. You see, being a Libra means you carry the mission of bringing light into spaces clouded by misunderstanding. You offer gentleness in a world that often confuses kindness with weakness. And that takes courage. You're the one who can stand in the middle of conflicting energies and still speak peace. But now, you're being asked to extend that peace inward, to give yourself the grace you offer others. This is the moment where you stop apologizing for needing rest, or silence, or clarity. This is your invitation to come home to yourself. There's a beautiful teaching I once heard, that sometimes God doesn't answer with thunder or grand miracles, but with a nudge, a timely word, a song at the right moment, a stranger's kindness, or a message like this one that arrives exactly when your heart needs it most. These small moments are not small at all. They are sacred interruptions. Perhaps this message is one of them. A reminder that the connection between you and your Father, whether in body or spirit, has never been broken, only transformed. So if your heart is a little heavy, if your spirit feels stretched, remember this: nothing about your Libra soul is lost. You are in a season of sacred rearrangement. The things falling away are making space for truth. The tension you feel is just the recalibration of your own light. And the message you're receiving right now isn't here to tell you what to do, it's here to remind you of who you already are. Take a breath. Close your eyes. Ask yourself, what am I being shown in this moment? Let the answers rise slowly. You're not here by accident. And you're not alone in this. Leave a comment below if any part of this resonates with you, even a word. Say, I'm realigning, or simply, I feel it. That's not just a comment, it's a declaration. A way of telling the universe, I'm listening. I'm healing. I'm ready. It's strange, isn't it, Libra? How the people you once felt closest to can suddenly feel so far away, like the warmth between you has been quietly replaced by something hollow. And yet, somewhere deep inside, you know this isn't about rejection or failure. It's about realignment. You've been trying to hold it all together, keeping the peace, smoothing the edges, showing up with grace, but now the weight of carrying what no longer resonates is asking to be put down. This isn't the collapse of your world. It's the gentle dismantling of old dynamics that can no longer travel with you into who you're becoming. Libra, you were born under the sign of the scales, the harmonizer, the keeper of cosmic balance. But that balance is not about pleasing everyone or staying in places that drain you. It's about truth. Inner truth. And sometimes, the most honest thing your soul can do is step away. Not to punish. Not to abandon. But to honor the quiet knowing that says, this season has ended. You are no longer the same version of yourself who needed that connection, that approval, that place. And that's okay. In astrology, moments like these are often mirrored by transits that nudge us to release, to allow the energy we've been entangled in to shift. For you, that might be triggered by squares to your ruling planet Venus or subtle lunar activations that stir your emotional body in unexpected ways. But regardless of the celestial choreography, one thing is clear: this isn't just change. It's growth. It's soul-level refinement. And though it may hurt, the pain is not punishment. It's pruning. The people who are fading from your life, the ones whose presence now feels sharp or distant, may have served their purpose. And some of them weren't meant to walk with you to the next chapter. That doesn't mean they didn't matter. It just means that what they were here to offer has already been delivered. Some relationships are assignments. Some are mirrors. Some are simply teachers wrapped in emotional clothing. And when the lesson is complete, the energy begins to lift. When that happens, let it. Resist the urge to cling. Don't over-explain your intuition or try to convince yourself to stay small just to be accepted. Healing relationships doesn't always mean restoring them. Sometimes it simply means blessing what was, forgiving what didn't grow, and releasing yourself from what no longer matches your frequency. Letting go is sacred. It is one of the most powerful affirmations of self-worth. Color therapy can be helpful during these periods of relational shedding. Olive green, in particular, holds energy of forgiveness and renewal. Surround yourself with it. Wear it. Visualize it washing over the heart center as you breathe in peace and exhale release. You're not pushing anyone away, you're just choosing yourself more deeply than you ever have. And if you're feeling emotions that are too complex to speak, try writing a letter you'll never send. Put on paper what your heart hasn't been able to say out loud. Anger, gratitude, grief, confusion, let it all move through you without judgment. Then tuck it away, burn it, or release it under the night sky. It's not about the other person reading it. It's about your soul being witnessed. Life will always ask you to outgrow something before it fully reveals what comes next. That in-between, that stretch of uncertainty, is uncomfortable, yes, but it's also sacred. It means you're alive, awake, and becoming. So if you find yourself mourning someone or something that once meant everything, know that your emotions are valid. But also know that your liberation is on the other side of that goodbye. The ending you're experiencing now may very well be the beginning of something breathtaking. You're not breaking down. You're being rebuilt with stronger light. And if that feels true for you even just a little, leave a comment below. Write, "I release with grace." Or, "I'm ready to receive better." Because every time you name your truth, you create room for a new blessing to find you. Sometimes the guidance we long for doesn't arrive with thunder or bright signs in the sky. It arrives quietly through a sudden breath of calm, a dream that feels more like memory than fiction, or the feeling that someone who once protected you is still close, not in body but in presence. Libra, your nature, attuned to air and movement, gives you a unique sensitivity to these moments. You feel what others overlook. You hear what isn't spoken. And more than any other sign, you are capable of receiving energy in the subtlest forms. This section isn't just about memory, it's about recognition. It's about the invisible bond that still surrounds you, especially when your heart aches the most. The presence of a father, whether biological, spiritual, or symbolicist, rarely just physical. For many, it's the imprint of safety, structure, and unwavering belief. And when that presence is no longer visible, the soul often seeks it in other ways. For you, it might show up as a sense of stillness during chaos, or the way your breath deepens at night when you remember a voice that used to guide you. This kind of connection doesn't vanish, it evolves. And the more you grow into your intuitive self, the more you begin to understand that absence isn't the opposite of presence, it's often the shape it takes when love becomes eternal. Astrologically, when Libra is moving through emotional cycles connected to ancestral energy or deep inner shifts, especially through lunar transits, or when Neptune makes soft aspects to your chart, you may feel drawn to things you can't explain. You may wake with a phrase in your mind that you didn't consciously remember. You may feel watched over when no one's around. These moments are not imagination. They are part of your deeper energetic blueprint. They are how love transcends space. And when you are still enough to feel it, that's when it becomes most real. But let's bring this down to the rhythm of everyday life. How do we anchor that sense of connection while navigating the noise and demands of our modern world? One gentle way is through consistent, simple reflection. For those who follow scripture or lean into faith-based principles, it often begins with a quiet moment each morning. A line I often return to in my own spiritual grounding is the idea that God does not abandon us, He simply walks with us in ways we can't always recognize. Not because He is distant, but because growth requires space. And it's in that space that we find ourselves returning, again and again, to the voice we thought we lost but truly had never left. So if you're waking up lately feeling more sensitive, more aware, or more open to signs and guidance, don't dismiss that. Don't rush to fill the silence. Let it echo. Let it move through your chest and show you where you're still carrying questions. That silent guidance is real. You've been feeling it for a reason. One practice I recommend is asking a simple question each morning. What do I need to know today that I haven't been allowing myself to hear? Don't search for the answer. Let it come in a phrase, a color, a moment of emotion. Write it down if it arrives. Or simply breathe with it. You're not here to chase clarity. You're here to remember it. And if you felt a father's love re-emerging through your memory, through symbols, or through the way you're being held even when no one's holding you, honor that. It means something. It's shaping you. And you're not imagining it. If any part of this resonates with you, write it in the comments below. You might say, I feel guided, or I remember the quiet strength. These words aren't just for method for you. They're a way of affirming to the universe that your heart is open to healing, and that even in silence, you are never alone. There are times, Libra, when everything familiar begins to feel distant, not because you're falling apart, but because you're being reassembled. What once felt grounding may now feel confining. What used to excite you might now seem hollow. And while part of you may resist, the deeper part of you knows, something is shifting. This isn't just emotional fatigue or restlessness. It's a spiritual detox. You're not just changing. You're being reborn. In astrology, this moment is often mirrored by powerful energetic transitions when personal planets like Venus or Mercury cross thresholds in your birth chart, or when slow-moving planets like Uranus or Pluto activate long-held patterns. When this happens, the old version of you begins to dissolve. Not because it was wrong, but because it has served its purpose. Think of it as a cellular shedding. You are not becoming someone new, you are returning to the you that existed before the world asked you to be anything else. You may have noticed trouble sleeping, sudden exhaustion, or a strange distance from your usual routine. These aren't just symptoms of stress, they're markers of energetic rebirth. As the body upgrades its frequency to match your soul's evolution, it asks for rest, for recalibration, for stillness. In ancient wisdom traditions, this phase is often honored with solitude, reflection, and light movement to help the body realign with the soul's direction. One gentle yet powerful way to support this process is through mindful movement. Practices like sun salutations in yoga, especially those that open the heart and throat chakra, help release tension from the chest and allow new breath, new voice, new expression to enter. Just 15 minutes of breath-guided movement in the morning can shift your energy from stagnation to subtle flow. If yoga isn't your path, even a walk at sunrise with intentional breathing can invite the same sense of renewal. Alongside movement, nurturing your body with calming, hormone-balancing nourishment is essential. Herbal teas like chamomile soothe the nervous system. Almond milk nourishes gently without heaviness. And omega-3s from sources like wild salmon or flaxseed help regulate the emotional body, reducing the fog that often clouds clarity during these transitions. Think of every sip, every bite, not just as nutrition but as a message to your system. I am choosing to live consciously through this change. The emotional side of this transformation can feel like standing in front of a mirror and no longer recognizing the person reflected back. But this is where gentle truth must be spoken. The version of you you're leaving behind wasn't a failure. It was a necessary chapter. And now that chapter is closing, not with a bang, but with a breath. You're learning to live no longer for expectation, but for alignment. In modern spiritual psychology and even in some faith-centered reflections, there's a theme that echoes this moment, the idea that the old must fall so that the new may rise. And while you may not see the full picture yet, trust that the dismantling has divine timing. It's okay to feel unsteady. It's okay to grieve the familiar. Just don't confuse discomfort with danger. You're safe, even when it's unclear. This is the time to give yourself grace. To honor the process. To stop asking yourself to move faster than your soul is ready. You don't need to rush through this. Every moment you choose presence, even in the uncertainty, is a moment of rebirth. And if what you're feeling is quiet but undeniable, if you sense that you're no longer who you were, but not quite yet who you're becoming, I invite you to name it. Leave a comment below and write, I am becoming. Or even more simply, I feel the shift. Because naming your transformation anchors it. And when you do, the universe always responds with greater clarity. There are seasons when the universe opens a quiet doorway, not with grand declarations, but with subtle invitations. Libra, you're standing in front of one of those doorways right now. This isn't a moment of coincidence, it's a moment of awakening. The kind that doesn't rush in all at once, but slowly unfolds as you begin to notice what's no longer aligned, what relationships are shifting, what truths are softly demanding your attention. With Venus retrograding through a fire sign this month, your ruling planet is inviting you to do something brave. Release everything that no longer reflects the version of you that's emerging. What's leaving your life right now is not rejection, it's redirection. And what's arriving is not random, it's resonance. When relationships start to fade or certain paths feel heavy, it's easy to think you're doing something wrong. But in astrology, a retrograde like this isn't punishment. It's a sacred review. Venus, planet of values, love, and self-worth, is not just affecting your external world, it's working through your inner landscape. The fire element adds urgency and truth. It lights up what's hidden and reveals where your heart has outgrown old rhythms. And as a Libra, your tendency is to keep harmony, to stay composed, to delay decisions to avoid conflict. But this season is different. You're not being asked to hold it all together. You're being asked to let go with grace and walk through the discomfort of growth. Your father's message arrives not at your strongest, but at your most transparent. Because he knows that when the outer layers begin to fall away, when your heart feels exposed, you're most open to hearing what's always been whispered. Not because you're weak, but because you're honest. And right now, honesty is your gateway. You don't need to pretend you're okay. You don't need to have a plan. You only need to be true to what you feel. When your soul says, "This no longer fits," listen. When it says, "I'm not sure yet, but I know I need space," trust it. Your job in this moment isn't to figure everything out. It's simply to stay awake as everything inside you is being rearranged for something deeper, something real. There's a gentle practice you can try to bring this energy into your daily life. Light a violet candle. This color vibrates with spiritual intuition and emotional clarity. Then, with a quiet mind, write down 3 things you're ready to release. These might be beliefs, habits, people, or patterns. Then write 3 things you wish to invite in: peace, confidence, divine timing, or something more personal. Speak them aloud, not to force them into reality, but to align your energy with what's already approaching. This ritual is less about control and more about co-creation. As you engage in this process, you may notice signs. A song that feels like it's singing directly to you. A dream that lingers. A quiet thought that brings sudden clarity. These are the small ways the universe speaks when your inner world is awake. You don't have to chase signs, just be still enough to recognize them. If you've ever dreamed of your father, or felt a strange peace during a moment of despair, you're not imagining it. These aren't just memories. They're moments of alignment, echoes of love that cross time. And if you felt one recently, share it. Tell your story in the comments below. Not just to be heard, but to add your light to this collective space. Write, "Dad, I feel you." Because when you speak your truth, you give others permission to do the same. And together, we remind each other that no one walks through this gate of awakening alone. Libra, gentle soul of balance and beauty, you've reached the edge of something powerful. Not just a message, not just a moment, but a threshold. And beyond it is the life your soul has been quietly asking for, maybe for years. You may have come to this video looking for a sign, for comfort, or for answers. But what you found here is far more than that. You found an invitation. Not to become someone new, but to return to someone you've always been. Someone who remembers their worth not because the world validates it, but because their soul knows it. You are no longer here to shrink yourself to fit inside old expectations. You are not here to wait for someone else to rescue you from uncertainty. You are here to remember that you are the light, the path, the presence. You are not who you were last year. Not even who you were last week. And your Father, whether in spirit or memory, sees that growth. He's been guiding you not with loud commands, but with whispers woven into the quietest moments of your day. The stillness. The intuition. The tug in your chest when you know something is ending, and something else is asking to begin. So let me ask you this now, from the deepest place of sincerity. Will you keep living on autopilot, replaying an outdated version of yourself just because it's familiar? Or are you ready to step across the threshold of your own transformation, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's uncertain, because your soul knows there is something more? If your heart stirs, even a little, I invite you to write in the comments, "I am ready to receive the new life. Lead me, Father." Not because the words are magic, but because your declaration is. And when you affirm your readiness, the universe and everything in it responds in kind. Doors begin to open. People begin to shift. Energy begins to move. And most importantly, you begin to walk differently. Not as someone who is waiting, but as someone who knows they were chosen. You are Libra, the keeper of divine alignment. You carry the codes of cosmic rebalancing in your very essence. You are the one who turns chaos into grace, who reminds the world how to breathe again. Don't underestimate that. Don't forget who you are just because someone else couldn't see it. And if this message has stirred something in you, if you felt even a single moment of truth resonate within your body, I encourage you to share this video. You never know who else has been silently praying for the exact message you just received. Let your light ripple outward. Thank you, truly, for being here with me, for trusting your intuition, for showing up, and for honoring your process. Every like, every comment, every subscription to this channel helps us keep this sacred space glowing. And it reminds me why I'm here, to walk with you, to reflect your light back to you, and to bring messages from the sky down to where your soul can hear them. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the messages waiting for you. This is just the beginning. The next chapter will require more of your presence, but it will also give you more of your power. Welcome home. Welcome, Libra. Welcome to the life your soul was born to live fully, freely, and finally.